Hello. Hello. Hello.
I'm almost done with everywhere I need to be. Ding, dong, habam, hadoom, bing, ding. Zoom, 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 zoomy, zoom, 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 zoom. Bam. There we go. Alrighty then. Also, I need to double check if the thing I have at the ready is ready. Yeah, it is. Alrighty then. Check it.
Pull the lever.
No, don't pull the lever. I thought I would look fucking awesome with my sunglasses in the these are quite literally just the same. These are just quite literally the same glasses as I have for like the Thinkies thingamadiggy, but I just made a duplicate material so then that way if I decide to put on the sunglasses, it's the exact same space and I just have it where it's like, you know, you can barely see my eyes as you can see there. They're just sunnies and I'm just sort of like yeah. I'm Johnny Cage. I don't know if people just like I've had so much fun with Mortal Kombat, like the story mode and such like that is just it's a fucking treat for me. Ow. It's an absolute treat for me. And I've made some like renders and like I've posed my character to like look a certain way and such like that so then that way like I shared it on Twitter already, one of them where it's just like me it's just like doing the thing like Johnny does at the beginning of fights. Stop throwing things, Masonic! You can't stop me! Like I was just like, Ugh, and then he's just like pushes the like the thing. He's just like, ha ha! Don't So I probably should have made him like a red tint to keep with the movie, to keep with like the image there, but I went with like gray. I was trying to go with silver. That was what I was trying to go for, and it clearly didn't work as fully as I intentioned. And then I made a TikTok. Did you know I've been playing Lies of P? It's fun. You're in chapter 9. Oh, I've not gone very far with my variant of chapter P. Why does it keep going to this screen? Am I somehow getting like whacked so many times that it's just sort of like, oh, like, let me just move you back. Or maybe it's the throwing system. Hang on a second. Let me have a look. Nodes. Let me make this a little bit bigger so I can at least fucking see. These sunglasses don't help with actually like. All right, so health system. So you do the on the health refresh, it resets the camera, and it does a okay. So, all right. So the health refresh, I need to have it after the death mic. Hang on a second. So it does the jest trigger on the next phase. It does the yeet, and then hello there, and then I'm dead. And then I need to... Is there a way to delay?
Becky. Lem smash.
Or... Wait. Timer. Oh, start timer. Yep, so it's gonna be... And we're gonna call this, camera reset. Yep, and then camera reset will be... After, so 1,000 milliseconds is a second. Let's go 15 seconds, so 15,000. And then on the call node timer camera reset, it will then revert me to camera 1. I don't yet have a way of making it so that it actually does it for explicitly the camera that, you know, dependent on the scene or anything like that. I've not done that yet. Also, who hyper himboed me? Oh, thank you, Xerix. Also, hi there, Morse. Welcome to the stream. Notice a resemblance with the sunglasses? I just had to. I probably should have. Ow. All right. You know what? Let's get Mortal Kombat up and running, okay? Because clearly no one wants to have a fun joshing around and shit like that. It's a Souls. You play as Pinocchio. Yes, you play as Pinocchio. Kiaru, however, is just like really obsessive with the penis jokes that come with Lies of P. So, because like they're like, oh, it's Lies of P. You play as Pinocchio. You have like a fucking whatsamahoozy, you have a P core. Oh. Thank you, Xerix. When you lie, it grows. That's not how this works. Alrighty, let's get this game on the run. Pause that music, because we got our own music.
Having liberated the hourglass and become keeper of time, my next task was to restart history. Not beholden to past events, I was free to craft a new era. It was with humility and restraint that I approached this blank canvas. After careful preparation,
Nice.
I began work, painting over the darkness. After eons passed,
You
I
love
sketched out the
Spore?
lines. After eons more, I brushed them in with life. In my new era, all beings will have the opportunity to find peace. Whether or not they do will be their responsibility. For my power only permits me to begin this endeavor. It is the duty of mortals to finish it.
Alrighty. So, you know, they remade history, and you know they did their thing, and they try to make it so Shang Tsung, and What's-a-Mahuzi. Hang on a second. What's their fucking names? Shang Tsung and not Sindel, not Smoke. Where the fuck is his name? His name isn't there. So some people were prevented from like being all powerful and all that kind of shit, and someone is working in the backgrounds to stop that. Medium difficulty, test your might in the game, subtitles. Yep, we're keeping subtitles on. We're currently at Act 3, Chapter 9. We're getting there.
Lin Kuei's flame is not easily smothered.
Split up! We must...
Oh yeah, we're gonna be facing against, What's-a-Mahuzi. We're gonna be facing against, Sub-Zero. So, this is where I stopped, because I was getting my ass kicked like 2 or 3 times. I've been practicing outside of stream. I have been learning
Imminent danger.
how to do combos and not just button mash.
Letting father die, forsaking Earthrealm, he's abandoned all reason. I knew Bihan's frustrations ran deep.
Yeah, look at
Never thought he could
that.
inspire such madness. We can't let his corruption spread. Whatever it takes, I am with you. Thank you. We may not share blood, but we are brothers.
Do your oaths mean nothing? It's your duty to obey my will.
Not when it betrays Lin Kuei principles.
That.
We won't sacrifice them to serve your ambition.
So it's doing all kinds of things. Oh, get a cut on the hand. He's gonna do a slide. Yep, there's the sleight of hand. And there we get a cut on the face.
Kuei Liang!
Stay back. This is my fight. End this, brother. Embrace the future.
I want no part of it! You pervert all that it means to be Lin Kuei!
Fight.
Nope, come on! Oh, goddamn you. Weird to start the game with 3 palette swaps fighting each other, but whatever. Oh, do you remember, like, when they first did, Sub-Zero and Scorpion? It was literally just yellow and blue. And then they did, Reptile, which was just green. There we go.
You disgrace our family and clan.
Did it.
You are my Grand Master no longer.
Alrighty, so completed the prediction on that one. I won. Congratulations, someone won 58 points.
What are you doing? Once he's exposed, won't you be made Grandmaster?
You forget Cyrax and Sector. Their loyalty to Bihan is absolute. They'll sooner abet his corruption than follow me.
Ooh.
We must chart a new course. One that both honors our father's legacy and serves Earthrealm.
Is this where he creates the Shi'ai Ryu?
Help me. We can't leave him here to aid Shang Tsung.
Oh, that's a lot of Soul Nados. He's got his Mortal Kombat 3. Oh yeah, like that's like Sub-Zero's actual thing, isn't it? That's Sub-Zero's thing to have that kind of thing.
You arrived not a moment too soon, Gareth. What have you learned?
In scrutinizing Shang Tsung's first meeting with his benefactor, I made an important discovery. Her life essence, the very time crystals that make up her being, are not of this timeline.
Not of this timeline. How could someone from a previous timeline enter this one?
That cannot happen.
We probably have another fight coming up. Do we want to do a prediction poll for the next fight?
Timelines than those that have come before.
All evidence points to the presence of a second timeline, which exists concurrently.
Oh, so how's it going, Code?
Two timelines, side by side, moving forward simultaneously?
Never in a billion lifetimes have I seen this. But that does not make the other timeline any less real. There can be no doubt that Shang Tsung's benefactor hails from it.
Nice.
And who she is, why she's here, where she's from. All questions we need answered, which we can't while we are under attack. I will go to Sindel, convince her to withdraw from Earthrealm by showing her how history is being manipulated.
That will require revealing to her your prior role as Keeper of Time.
The situation gives me no choice. I will
Thank you
need
for the
your help,
image.
Gears, to prove my claims to the Empress.
Okay, we're playing as Li Mei now. It looks like we got a fight on our hands coming up. There she is. Sup?
Return home, Lord Liu Kang. I am to let no one pass.
I must see Her Majesty. She must
Hi, Hawaiian
prompt
pizza.
an attack on Earthrealm.
Her decision was unwise, but she no longer seeks my counsel, and I doubt she's interested in yours.
The Empress has been deceived. Shang Tsung and General Shao have fomented this crisis as a means to steal her throne.
General Shao? I knew he was hiding his true intentions. But join Shang Tsung? I knew he couldn't be trusted. Were I still Umgadi, he would never have breathed the same air as the Empress. My palace sources told me he arrived out of nowhere, and immediately had the Empress's ear.
He gained her trust by treating Princess Melina's condition. Tragically, she is afflicted with Tarkat disease.
Tarkat?
Well, does he know this because of the whole
The
time
Empress
travel
must be beside
nonsense?
herself. If Shang Tsung found a treatment, no wonder she embraced him.
I have shared this with no one. I trust that you, of all people, will keep this secret.
We have no guarantee she's gonna keep
Were it made
this.
public, it would bring down the royal family.
Li Mei, Empress Sindel needs our help. Will you join me?
Oh my god, he has stubble.
Emperor Jared's death, the pain it caused Empress Sindel, has always haunted me. I failed the royal family once. I won't do so again.
Alright, who is she gonna fight is the question. Alrighty, so we got someone betting big that I'm gonna fail,
My
but
Ngati contacts had said the general's soldiers had been encroaching. But still, I can't fathom it. General Shao committing treason?
It is the fruit of a poisonous seed planted by Shang Tsung. He played to the general's vanity, inflamed his prejudices to convince him that he alone could save our world.
He may be unstoppable. The Ngati don't have numbers, and my constables aren't trained for war.
Know that I, too, will aid in the Empress's defense.
huh. Nice.
Driver, what is it?
Uh-oh. Assassination attempts are happening.
I may need that aid right now.
Oh, that's cool. Seeing the back legs of the centaur with like the robot thing. Oh, we're facing off against this guy.
To the portal gate, Li Mei. He isn't welcome
General
in
Shao's ticket.
Outworld.
I won't support the general, Reiko, nor his plot to usurp the throne.
Then you won't live to see the new regime.
Dude just like fucking ripped them, no problems, like chicken wings. Thank you, Xbox,
have
for
us
telling me I
surrounded.
earned some
I am
points.
Earthrealm's protector, Li Mei. I am no stranger to combat.
Then let's get out there.
Combat with this, with a K. Alrighty. I remember nothing about her things when I was practicing, so this is gonna be some button mashy nonsense to start. Here we go.
Should have joined us, not the constabulary. We could have used your Ungari skill.
Enough. I've no use for a traitor's compliments.
Alright, so Nova Blast is X. Quarter Circle Y is the Sky Lantern. Quarter Circle again is Cheesy Lion. And Chain Reaction is... No. Oh, goddamn you.
Maybe I thought too highly of you.
I thought Shao's soldiers were better trained.
Nice. Yeah! Woo!
You
And who
your
said I couldn't
accomplices
do
will
this?
Face judgment, Reiko.
My victory. Nice try, Hawaiian Pizza. I've been practicing. It's still a little bit button mashy, I will be real with you, but like, have you seen some of the combos they try and ask you to do for like, you know, long form combat? Like, it's long. No, not the cactar! Alrighty.
Word of his arrival precedes you. Surrender if you...
Did that say? Yes, it did. That one was done by Radium Desu. They did that in like Adobe Premiere Pro or After Effects, and I was like, oh, I love it. Can I use that? And so they let me get the transparent file for it. I was kind of hoping they'd also have the one for just you died as well, because I'm using a green screen variant of that, but that's okay. Anywhoosies, question. Do you guys like it when I do the prediction fights for these thingamadiggies? Like you get like a big warning. You get like a like you get all that. It goes on. It takes like 2 minutes, which, you know, I feel like is enough time for me to be like, right, finish the fight, press say I've succeeded or I failed, press the button again for the next fight. You got like, you know, you got under 2 minutes to say yes or no. It's fine. Because here's the thing is I'm of the opinion, if I do it regularly enough, if enough people understand, if there's going to be boss fights and shit like that, maybe there's going to be even more points. This might be just like a weird thing where being in Australia for so long, I always feel like, man, it would be so great to put like a little gambling on this. If it's set up so that's easy for you to get them going, then deaths. Yeah, because watch this. Watch this shit. You ready for this? Like, one button, and it's like you get a message, you get a noise, and there's like a little thingy-madiggy in the center. Like, nope, that's a slow zoom. Hang on a second. Don't look at my face. I want you to look over there. Look at that. And it's just sitting there, and then you can do your points and such. So you can either do the voting from the channel points section. So when you click on the little gains icon, or it's going to be at like the top of the chat where you can select predict, and you can do it in either 10-point intervals, or you can throw a custom amount. Someone did like all in. Someone was just like, this happened a few times by Ripper. They were just like, I'm going all in. They put in like 7,000 points while I was playing Armored Core 6, and it was just sort of like oh nope. I did not win that fight, and they lost so many points. The next time they said all in 40 points, and I won that time, and they're like, hell yeah, I broke even. That's not exactly how breaking even works, but sure. You went all in on the first one, you lost. You went all in on the second one, it was a win. That's a 50-50, but there's a disproportionate amount of how much you won versus how much you lost. So yeah. And then that way I just need to alt tab and select if Code votes in it, he can't do it. He can't choose the outcome. I think that's kind of okay, where if the moderator votes, they can't do the outcome. I can't vote in this thing, so I can't, artificially pump up the numbers to encourage someone to play of a certain result, or make it so that I give a lot of points to something that is going to win or anything like that. I can't pump up. I would love if I could somehow do that, where I could just sort of be like, oh yeah, let me just put 5,000 points into a prediction, right at the get-go. If I could get the robot to do it, I think I would, because I'm pretty sure the robot would have a lot of points. Let me see. Does my bot have any, if I go to twitch.tv and I go there as my robot Zeebs, does he actually, all right, so right now it's in there as GrantZeebs. I need to go into Twitch as my robot and see whether or not the robot has been getting channel points for doing the thingamadiggies in here, or if it's just a thingamadiggy. Yep, start watching. Oh, it only has 3. It's not been getting any, mods can technically predict. I think they just revoked the ability. Yeah, they can predict. They just can't announce the results. That's the thing, Morse. Alrighty then, we got 90 points into yeah, 96 points into nah. Alrighty then. So bad news, bears. The robot can't gain prediction points. So if I was smarter, I would have the prediction bot. I would have the robot just sitting in here all the time, accumulating points and what have you, especially when better Twitch TV is a thing that can auto-claim points and what have you, but clearly that's not going to work out in this regard. Hi there, Furry Cures. You missed out on the gambling opportunity.
Let us pass, Tanya. The Empress and her
I
family
think it's
are in
just in
danger.
chat. It doesn't
He
count
brings
as
word
watching,
that
therefore no.
Shang Tsung
Yeah,
and
exactly.
General Shao
Because it
fight
only has the
against
300 points from,
General?
you know, following
Are you
me.
so easily taken in by lies? Once again, you prove incapable of protecting the royal house.
Alrighty.
Fight!
Okay, so back and forwards. XY, XYB, a low jab is an X, YXB. Okay, so it looks like a lot of, so I can either go XYB or YXB. Pushing back to do Y and X. Oh, Jesus. Ow. There we go. Break her. Oh, no, 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 no. Hi, oh no, that wasn't actually Icy. That was just Furry Cures using Icy.
Precious time, Tanya. Let's finish this.
Ow. Nice. Did it.
I'm sorry you made that necessary.
Did I win that fight? Yes, I did. All right. Also, I also made it like as a singular, like technically it's a little more than one button press, but I was able to do this. So I go to predictions and it can tell me, yeah, who won. I need to interact with this page, unfortunately, to see like, oh, this is the payout for the winners. This is the payout for the losers. But thank you so much, Code, for believing in me. And congratulations for getting 118 points from that. I should probably, ooh. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Close studio mode. If I go to predictions, all right, so we got the prediction summary there. Prediction summary, first result. I can't spell for shit. Give me a second. So if I go to, manage predictions, go to the summary. It gives me a pop out of the prediction summary. And okay, so it just does a thingy-madiggy of like, you know, just throwing it. It doesn't give me like a little thingy-madiggy to be like, yes, give me the one for the first result, give me the one for the second result. I wish I could get one that is like a carousel so that it shows you the first result, shows you the next result, and then the next result, yada, 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 yada. I feel like that would be... Ooh, actually, no. Prediction summary carousel. Prediction summary carousel Twitch. Like, is that a thing? Twitch predictions for your streams? Let's have a look. How to start a prediction. They can... Your channel mods can also create predictions, but they won't be able to participate if all your mods oh yeah, so yeah, we already said that. You can only have one prediction active. When started, we'll send you a notification in the chat to take part. You must choose bet all you want from a minimum of 10 points to a maximum of 250,000 points. You appreciate that it just jumps straight into the next round without as much downtime between them. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's like a unless, hang on a second. HTML. Doesn't look like it's there. Alrighty then. Back to the game. Turn off the Twitch, the summary thingamadiggies. Let's get Let's see when we go into the next fight.
You know who I am. Of my deeds when I was one of you. I may no longer be welcome. But in my heart, I am still Umgadi. I will always honor my vows. He's here to end a threat to the Empress. Stand against us, and she will lose the throne. Stand with us, and we will save the Empire.
Nice.
Why didn't you kill me?
Because we mean you no harm.
Plus, you might be able to explain some things to us.
That fact to the Empress.
How dare you, Li Mei? It's not enough that you let Jared be murdered. You'd let Liu Kang destroy the rest of my family?
My heart broke when your husband died. I lost not only my emperor, but you, my closest friend. I know you may never forgive me. But don't be blinded by anger and grief. We are here to help you.
This is a Coca-Cola time. Hang on. Oh, shit! Okay, I guess we're getting into another fight.
No, daughter. Your condition.
Your faithlessness astounds, Li Mei. How can you side with Earthrealm against
Steelfire, thank you for the follow. You made it just in time for predicting whether or not I will succeed against this fight or not.
If you took a moment, you'd realize it.
Fight.
You put all my money on me? That's... You don't know if that's a mistake yet or not. Oh. Nope. Shit. Woo!
Your Highness,
All right, round one to me.
fight the wrong battle.
Oh, someone's betting against me? Ow, shit. Nope, stop it. Okay, thank Christ. That worked. Oh, oh! Okay, I think I have an idea for juggling. Hang on. Oh, shit. Ah, damn you.
You must be smarter, Princess.
You did say I needed to bet higher.
No, I forbid it.
I must.
I wonder if I should make it where it should be like the next character we get, we're gonna. I wonder if the prediction should instead be a case of, rather than it being player on like character versus character, it should be, can I go through this chapter without taking a loss? Because sometimes there'll be a test your might thingamadiggy, and I have lost to those like on the first go quite often. But yeah, did I win that fight? Yes, I did. Yay. And then we can like click on this thingamadiggy and we can see Furry Cures contributing 3,000 points gets 3,061. Hell yeah.
If I won't risk my life for the throne, I'm not worthy of it.
Fight.
I remember teaching you that, Princess. You were but a girl.
That was long ago. Much has changed.
My loyalty to your family hasn't. Trust me now as you did then. Please, Princess, just listen. We shouldn't fight.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Forgive me, Princess, but I won't allow you to hurt yourself or anyone else.
Fight.
Ow. Uh-oh. God damn it.
I must be careful. I cannot harm her.
I love how she's like, I must be careful, I must not harm her, and it's just like, who's looking at my dumpy ass? Steel fire! What are you doing? Ow. Could you not flawlessly balk me, please? You misclicked? Sure you did.
Tarkat makes victims of us all.
Nice. My win. Alrighty. Wait, were those...
Praise Argus.
Those two are a
I
thing,
am
aren't
in
they?
your debt.
No, Your Majesty. There can be no debt between friends.
Oh, that's nice.
I am glad she is safe, and that our conflict has ended.
They're in
It is
lesbians
paused,
with each
not ended. Li Mei has earned my goodwill. Whether you do remains to be.
Ow, ow, ow!
I seek only peace, Your Majesty.
Is that why you send minions on secret missions into my empire? You've proved yourself the enemy I was long warned you would be.
I understand your anger.
Thank
But I had
you.
reason to believe that Shang Tsung posed a threat to both of us. Until I confirmed them, I did not want to burden you with my suspicions.
Hi there, Galgadio.
They have proven true. Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, the General. They conspire to conquer our realms.
A serious charge. Where is your proof?
At Shang Tsung's laboratory. If what you see there does not convince you, I will surrender Earth
Do not...
without a fight.
No, we don't have 100% confidence in... Oh. Oh, it's still there.
How could I have so misjudged them?
Okay, good news.
For Shang Tsung to indulge in such depravity.
So,
For General Shao to condone it.
good news.
They are not
He
the
didn't
men
think
I
to clean
thought
up.
them.
He really thought we
Despite
wouldn't
my
find
best
this
efforts,
place.
Neither man nor Quan Chi are who they were meant to be.
They're not your responsibility. They're outworlders.
But it is I who crafted their destinies.
He is a keeper
along
of
with those
time.
of all other beings. At the dawn of history.
You created the realms. Is your mind addled, demigod?
I am a mere demigod now. But eons ago, I was more powerful than all of the elder gods combined. I was a titan, and the keeper of time.
And here's Geras.
This is Geras.
Hi.
Your Majesty, Your Highnesses.
Geras is the guardian of the Hourglass. A celestial object which lies beyond the realms. The Hourglass regulates time and destiny. When I wielded its power, it was upon me to craft all of existence. Which I did when I restarted history.
Restarted?
Yes.
This timeline was preceded by billions more. Though this is the first of Liu Kang's design. The others were designed by his predecessor. Kronika was obsessed.
Oh, this is what happened in Mortal Kombat 11.
Timeline veered too far to one or the other. She would halt it and restart history, tinkering with lives and events in the hope of achieving her golden balance.
Prior timelines, Kronika gave Shang Tsung and Quan Chi
Oh, Jesus, Imp! What are you doing with my shirt? I'm gonna need... Wait, I can put on sunglasses. That way I'm dressed.
Bent on conquest. Usidel were his ruthless wife, who would do anything to preserve your privilege. When I took the hourglass from Kronika, I vowed to do better. So in this timeline, the sorcerers would not gain their dark powers. Shao would be your loyal follower, and you
No, not the lever!
rule Outworld firmly, but fairly.
But someone has interfered with Liu Kang's design. Shao, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi, all have been groomed by an unknown entity to be the villains they were in previous timelines.
Where to begin? Am I to kneel to my creator? Do you expect worship?
No.
No, Your Majesty.
Okay, thank goodness he said
My
no.
prior role was thrust upon me by circumstance. I am in no way divine.
You had power over all of creation, yet you gave it up.
Because I saw how it drove Kronika mad. I knew I would fare no better had I kept it.
Oh, there's Megan Fox in the background. There she is. Oh boy.
You. How dare you conspire against Outworld?
Not against Outworld, but against your misguided rule. Your deference to him leaves us all vassals.
Oh yeah, no, she sounded terrible, Code. I've been hearing her for a while, and I'm like, it sounds very deadpan.
Thanks to
very
you, Earthrealm
deadpan.
blood is already on my hands. Bloodshed, without cause or provocation.
Don't
Empress, everyone, stay back.
The fuck is that?
What is it?
The Amulet of Shinnok, a weapon of terrifying power.
It should not exist. Its maker is powerless, as Liu Kang designed.
Yet more proof of foreign interference.
Enough prattle! You'll both bend a knee to Outworld's new emperor.
No.
Put down the amulet. Its evil is beyond your control.
Do you think I do battle not trained with my weapons? I am more than prepared.
Oh shit, he pokeballed them. Oh, we're fighting against...
General Shao casts his lot with Outworld's enemies against me. He's a fool to ally with you blood-sucking fiends.
That hiss has so much more emotion than any other thing we've heard from what's-a-mahoozy Megan Fox right now. That hiss has been the most emotion. It's been the one, it's been so on point, only then. Every other time, it's been flat.
Fight.
I do not, okay. Low hairball, scream, command, and all right. Ow. Fuck you. Oop. Where's my prediction? Oh, here's your prediction. While that's happening, I'm gonna read the move list. All right, so what? Mother knows best. Did you know, chat? Did you know that there's a doujinshi, like Sea Dog VA has mentioned this. I've not seen it, but the name is fantastic. Like there's a hentai, and it's called it's featuring like two MILFs, and it's called Mother Knows Breast. Is it the British? No. Hentai is Japanese. Connor is Welsh, I think. British Welsh. So yeah, so just seeing that mother knows best and just mother knows breast, I don't think you understand. You're talking about Sea Dog VA. Yes, the British Welsh guy. But yeah, sorry, that's the first thing that popped into my head when I read Mother Knows Best. I can't take it seriously because I know about the hentai. There's a hentai that was translated into British slang. That's why. Oh, okay. All right. So Kiss the Rings. Okay, so that's that, and then Sheer Genius. So towards the enemy A, down A, Y B, Y B B, away, Y A, Y. Protect the matriarch. Okay, let's see what protect the matriarch is like. Ow, fuck you. Could you... Alright, let's see what her thingy-majiggy is. I want to know what the hair does. Alright, so that's Lee May's thing, and then... Oh! Fuck, she ripped her vagina.
You fight on.
What the hell? That is graphic.
Endeavor.
Oh my god, look at her walk.
You're no better
Christ.
than Shang Tsung's monstrosities.
Woo! I'll keep the...
Tanya and your daughters, they are not dead, but trapped in the amulet. We can still save them.
Alright, question chat. Do we want to keep the prediction running until we're done with Sindel to see whether or not like I will succeed throughout the entire chapter? I can quickly change the script to do that. Like I can quickly change the button to be an entirely like different thingy-madiggies where it's like, oh, do this sort of a thing. So like watch this shit. So commands, and then I do Jonathan Cage moment. Yes, hi there, Cap. Welcome to the stream. How do I look? You Sorry, I'm just the song stuck in my head. Any whoosies. Moderation add, and it's gonna be exclamation point predict fight is going to be like the one word thingy-madiggy. Yep, and then it's going to be predict, just so people can see what it is I'm making. Hang on a second. So you see that? Nice. All right, cool. So predict fight or pred fight or pre-fight. So we have those things. It's only available to moderators to run. So then that way it does it like really quickly. There will be a global cooldown of, I want to say, like, just so that it doesn't go off like too quickly, like because I think it'll take at least 30 seconds. And then, so it's a basic, doesn't include. All right, we do an okay. And then we do the actions. Big, cool, epic news. We got to put on international. What's the big new epic? Sent you a video of the British slang. Ah, okay, thank you. All right, so ding, fight. So prediction start fight. I'm going to duplicate this. And I'm going to change it to custom message. So the idea is that, so references, settings, start prediction, custom message. All right, so the idea is on execution, we need to make it so that it grabs the first argument. So what's the C? So C sharp. Hang on a second. Streamer bot. C sharp available commands. Give me a sec. This is important stuff. Did I win? Question. Do you want me to do the who's got a titty Skittles appointment referral? Ooh. You get it. You're getting the milk tanks. Nice. Good work. That's some good news for today. Hang on a second. I'm doing some code right now. I'm trying to turn this into being able to be able to do like automatic fight predictions, and then being able to do the like a customized text. So right now the prediction is will Zeebs win this fight, and I want to change it where if there's going to be like a message after it or something like that, then we include that in there. So in general, so if I do commands, let's see, enable command, no. General, the in-between, the escape. Okay, so using this feature, you'll need to, all right, so actions, you run the actions, sound, key press. How did I do it in the, hang on a second, Visual Studio Code? This is going to help me, because I have it in here. Here it is, the rating cute. Do you see my name in this? No. I don't think you see my name. That is good. All right. Close the ping test. All right. So string equals argument to string. So it grabs the thingamadiggy and... So yeah, so that's what I grab, and then the initial... How did I do, like, the, And then I had a case switch for, like, the different target users. Then that's the rating for the himbo. That's the squat code. Discord... Okay, was it... There we go. All right, so... Arguments contain key, else equals to... All right, so if there's... Okay, so if there is a raw input, then it's raw input otherwise. All right, so executing code. So it equals... Argument is, you know, whether or not there's a raw input. If not, it's will Zeebs win this fight? So that's the idea there. That's the idea of this little thingamadoogie here. And then it does a new list. Yeah, nah. And then for 99 seconds, we'll do the prediction thingamadoogie. Let's have a look. So compile. Yep, it compiles successfully. All right. So that is our custom message. So if I now go to... So if I now go to my stream deck and then prediction fight, I can then change it from, you know, start fight to start fight custom message. So the idea is, so if I go start string set button ID, fill in this field, fill in this. All right, so what if I do raw Oh, actually, no. I don't want to press a button here. So I'm going to keep this as start. I'm going to keep this one as the start fight thingy. Move the set squats here. Where is my Twitch? Twitch chat message. All right, so start fight MK1. So start predict, and it's going to be the message will complete this chapter no first try.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna spit in your mouth.
This is all very important. Trust me, okay? Trust me. All right, so now I press this button. So it's the start predict. It's just something. Oh, you know what I just realized? Custom message. Triggers. I did not put the fucking trigger in here. Where is it? Where is it? So trigger, favorite triggers, core, commands. Command triggered is the where is it? Oh, if you wanted to know like where I am right now, it's here. I've got so many. So there's the different knife ones, there's the test, there's the sub goals. Where's the prediction? Ow, lever, cronk. This is in alphabetical order. That's good. Featured throne. Predict fight. There we go. So that's the command there. Also, start predict. I need to have that, and then start prediction, and I think SP. Code, do I have any other messages that use SP? Oh, also, lever only works for the moderators, and commands isn't in streamer bot. I'm actually like very terrible in trying to get those thingamadoogies. Not that I know of. Okay, cool. We're gonna put in exclamation point SP as an option. So then that way we can do like start prediction as SP. All right, back to this thingamadoogies. So start predict, complete this chapter first try question mark. All right, here we go. Shit. That's not what I wanted happening. All right, where am I going wrong? Hang on a second. Action cues, history, scroll all the way down, start, inspect when it was queued. Raw input. Yeah, there's a raw input. And then copy as text table. Raw input URL encoded. Complete this chapter first try. Like, that's what we're looking for, is we're looking for the raw input. So why didn't it do its thing? So variable equals argument contains key raw input. Then it's the raw input to string. Otherwise, it's will Zeeb win this fight. Why did save and compile? Why didn't that work? Because it did the first thing. Like, it didn't do the code, but then it did the second thing. Like, the fuck? Oh! I already have a prediction running. All right. So, did I win that fight? Yes, actually, did I? Yes, I did. Okay, cool. Did I win that fight? Yes, I did. Now if I press the button, this is going to be a prediction on whether or not I will be able to get through this chapter in one try. Yeah! Woo! You now just notice you had a prediction running. Look, I forgot the critical rule of you can only do it like you can only do the thingy-madiggy. You can only do the thing like one prediction at a time.
no surprise that you are party to Shao's treason. Know that it will cost you your life.
I owe him mine many times over.
Come on, bet big.
Sacrificing it in his service
Big.
would be an honor.
Fight!
Ow. Fuck you. Oh, you... Stop manhandling me! Oh, yes!
That Shao misled you makes you no less culpable. You will answer for this crime.
Fuck you. Ow, fuck you. Are you playing with a pad or a stick? I'm playing with the Xbox One controller, hence why it's in the bottom left there. You see how it moves around? It's not very bright, but that's on purpose. Alright.
Your betrayal hurts most, Rain.
Is that what it's called? Because I'm using the D-pad down here a lot of the time.
I've outgrown you, Empress. Shang Tsung's taught me that I've scratched just the surface.
Is that a centaur? That's technically called a chimera, I believe.
I can't be bound by your limits.
Fighting game tip.
Fight.
Use the D-pad. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I was using... Ow, shit.
Save your queen.
Also, learn the combos is also a good tip. Nice. Ow.
Shang Tsung's taught me more than you know.
Neutral scrub. What's neutral? Also, not keyboard. Alright. Is that a Nova Blast? Nova Blast! Alright, hairball in the air is a quarter circle. Okay, neutral scrub is... Oh, nice.
It's
1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Okay, so that's how you do a taunt. Ow, fuck you. Neutral is your bread or butter. Yeah, so that's like neutral, and then that's with... That's another, like... Look at her do the splits. Ow. Nice. Nova Blast. Boom.
You are forever dead to me.
Yeah, fuck you, Rain. Oh, everyone is getting fucked up by General Shao.
I remember the weak, sickly boy you were. How your father fought to push you past your infirmities. Now you repay him by spitting on his ideals?
Neutral means your bread and butter. Yeah, so that's like... so that's like the...
Fight.
So that's like this stuff, right? like being able to do like your basic sort of thingamadiggies, and then like these ones are like, you know, special circumstances. So for example, there would be like an like how cartwheel here is a quarter turn B, which does an overhead thingamadiggy. Like that. And then, whoop. Ow, fuck you. Nope. Ow, fuck you, Shao. Also, the audio is very choppy. Sorry to hear that.
You've forsaken both me and the Empire. Your family name will be forever tarnished.
How the fuck did I do that? Oh, is it? Wait. Oh.
Serve your queen.
Ow. Oh, thank Christ, I somehow missed that. Is the audio still...
General.
Is it still crunchy?
The amulet, Your Majesty.
That was a perfect jump? Wait, that was? Was it? Are you sure? I'm gonna be real with you. That was a jump that I just made. Like, I was just sort of like... Don't, like, I was not paying attention. I was like, oh, I wonder if I try and do a combo here. Neutral means to mix the basics and specials into functional combos. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have been hit by that attack. Also, why is my... There we go. Half a fight. I will be real with you, it does feel like that. When we get to another chapter, I will probably like get out of the chapter and show you like one of the combos they asked me to try and do with fucking Scorpion. And I'm just sort of like, I have no fucking clue how anyone remembers this, especially in the heat of the battle.
The command of my creator.
No, Your Majesty. It is the request of a friend.
More death. Queen's Gambit Millennium. All right, so hang on a second. Main menu. Let me get you to like the combo. Like this is in their tutorial section as well, where they're just sort of like, oh yeah, like, you know, you just do. What do you mean error occurred? The fuck you mean error occurred? No challenges available. They are there. Tutorial. Error occurred. What the fuck do you... All right, fine. You know what? Corner combo. Would you like to continue where you left off? Yes. Like, or maybe, actually, let me do it from the beginning so you have an understanding of like, oh, like early nonsense. Also, how dare you? All right, hang on a second. Restart section. Actually, no, because experiment in practice mode to find unique and powerful corner combos with the. So yeah, look at this. So. Like, like, and then this is their demonstration. I don't know how to do that last bit. Like, that's a wrap. Damn it. All right, let's try that again.
That's a wrap.
Oh. See? You need like instinct to like remember the like, and doing it like. So yeah, so it's like.
Quiet, please. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
So yeah, you gotta like learn. Is this part of the story? No, this is just learning how to do. Like this is apparently like an like this is like in tutorial mode. So this is like something that like the pros can do and shit, which is like doing the rhythm for like a corner combo where it's like you do this, bam, boom. Oh wait, bam, bam, boom, ding, and then not that. Here's what they want you to do.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Damn it.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Oh, damn it.
That's a wrap.
But yeah, you see that? Like, that's what you have to do in the tutorial, in like the tutorial section there. There was so many that were like, in connecting to the thingamadiggy, an error occurred. Why is an error occurring? Like, so like, frame data was like super easy to go through, because it was just like, oh, here's the thingamadiggy. This was like a little bit like, meh. Offense, however, learning like the fucking juggling combo and air combos. And then that's like not even the rest of it, because you got like pressuring, you've got positionals. And then in the challenges is like where you're supposed to be doing like all the kung fu shit. I don't know what's happening with my session. Addresses issues and evasions. Daily and weeklies can now be completed. Brutality move list corrected. Stabilities and localizations. Cool. Wait, is that because I need to update the thingamadiggy, I wonder? Block mids, perform character fighter, fatalities, practice mode, use the roster characters, perform a cameo fatality. That'd be cool. Weeklies. There's 4 days left to perform like so however many blocks, play for certain minutes, forge a talisman in the
cutie.
Thank you. I'm gonna have it like check a. Oh, I just realized what that was. Bam. All right, hang on a second. I'm gonna have Steam like check if it's up to date, because maybe that's the issue. There is that technically it's not properly updated. So if I go manage, come on, ding. Manage or properties, here we go, general updates, install, there we go, install files, verify the integrity, and it does it in like no time at all, or maybe it does take a little time. Oh shit, I think it's downloading again. I was not expecting. You're gonna head out. Not to worry. Congratulations on getting the memory medicine. Hope you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Oh shit. Well, it's gonna take about 3 minutes for it to do its shit. We could be looking at memes if we wanted to. You might have bigger tits than you. I 100% believe you. I 100% believe you on that one. So, because these are pecs. Plus, they're not real. So, you know, take that as you will. Plus, like, I do like bigger boobs. That's a definitely like a huge thing, but you know, a part of me sometimes is just sort of like upsetties. Like a part of me is just sort of like, oh no, when someone like talks about getting a breast reduction or something like that. It's like, it doesn't affect my livelihood at all. It has no necessity on like making me happy or not, because if they're getting it, they're obviously getting it for themselves and for their own reasons and validations. So it's like, and I understand that. I would much rather, you know, the other person be happy or comfortable with who they are, considering I want to be happy or comfortable with who I am. Like, I would rather, I don't want to, like, for example, I don't want to like forever be overweight or something like that just because someone's like, oh, but I like chubby peeps. It's like, that's cool, but I don't like me chubby. This is why my persona is this, like, because I have an idea of like the, like, sort of the masculine like identity and such like that. And it's like, sure, there might be some questions toxicity wise on whether or not this should be like the idea of a masculine image, but I understand, and at the same time, that everyone has different ideas of what is seen as like pinnacle masculine and pinnacle feminine, realistic versus fantasy, yada yada. So like, yeah, you can have whatever size tits you want, is sort of the conclusion I'm at. Why is there yum 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 scrolling down really fast? But yeah. All right, let's see. 1 minute to go. To be fair, this is actually fairly quick of like a file validation, where it's like 3 gigabytes per second of disk usage to scan 96 gigs. Like, pretty decent amounts of speeds there, if I say so myself. There's a timer on those kinds of things, furry cures. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun.
I've yet to meet one that can outsmart a bullet.
Oh, voice mod isn't running. That's why. Hang on a second. Give it a minute. Come on. Here we go. I wonder if I should be more liberal with like the timeout button, even with regulars. Like, you know, Morse comes in, says my name incorrectly, and I'm like, are you fucking dead naming me as a joke? And then just time him out for 5 seconds. Morse, are you still here? I don't know if Morse is still here. Good news, Mortal Kombat is not broken. We can start it back up again. I'm just gonna move this thingamadoogie here. This thingamadoogie here. Oh, prediction, by the by. Did I complete the chapter on my first try? Yes, I did. Congratulations to everyone that has voted for me. I was able to complete the thingamadoogie on my first try. I have so many people to thank. I have to thank Jason and Furry Cures for believing in me and being able to complete it on my first try. Meanwhile, Hawaiian Pizza, how dare you? Capricious, I will forgive you. And Zarex, you know, you put your 10 points in there just so that now you wanted to see what happens. Fair enough. But yeah, congratulations, Jason and Furry Cures, for getting your thingamadoo.
Of time. My next task was to restart history. Not beholden to past events. I was free to craft a new era.
Hello?
It was with humility and restraint that I approached.
Alright, let's see. Does the tutorial challenge thing work this time? Nope, there's still an error. Why is there still an error? Like, settings. Accessibility, tournament, video, and... like, is there nothing about the, fatal blow... oh, that's for tournament shit. That's not me. Rounds to win, 2. Story is medium. Lowered health bars. Session stats, whether it wins for each player in the current session. Pause delay. In offline matches. Share replays. Probably a bug that's randomly showed up. Possibly. Because, like, it shows me the countdown and all this shit. Alright. Back to the story. Back to the Queen's Gambit in Chapter 12.
You are relieved, General.
The amulet, Your Majesty.
Yay, they're all back. Hi there, Jack. Welcome to the stream.
I hate to disrupt, but we must act quickly to save Earthrealm.
Is that the command of my creator?
How's my day today? My day's doing fairly alright.
It is the request.
Alright, nothing, like, no major news on my side, personally speaking. I'm just excited to play Mortal Kombat 1, but other people have been sharing, you know, their good news and their bad news. Bad news has been in, like, the personal DMs. Good news has been in the chat. It's a new game. Because there's, like, time travel and all this kind of nonsense.
We are ready.
And the Soul Stealers?
Keep them running. I am sure we'll find a use for the collected souls.
So that's Shang Tsung. It's not a remake of the original because this is playing off of the events of Mortal Kombat 11. Nice. Oh, Scorpion is good. And there's smoke. Alrighty. We're playing as Melina. Let's see if we can get through this chapter in one try.
Will they stand down if ordered?
No. Those are the General's most loyal lieutenants.
They must be neutralized if we are to shut down the Soul Stealers.
Yes, they do. We should split up.
Alright, how are we stopping it?
Stay behind me, Princess.
No, we fight together.
So that's Ermac.
What's wrong?
My ribs. They may be broken.
The one time an injury has affected us in Mortal Kombat. Broken ribs.
Help me up.
No, Tanya, stay down. This time, I protect you.
We are Ermac. It is pointless to resist us.
Come any closer, and you'll feel the points of my blades.
We are many. You are one. Your souls will become part of our collection. Fight.
Straight side, forward, back, X. Quarter circle, Y. Can do the quarter circle again. Teleport up and roll. Fuck you. Okay, hang on. X, Y, X, Y, and grab. Forward X, BB. Okay.
You have no chance of taking my soul.
Oop. Oh, that was cool. Oh, her combos are a lot easier than normal. Could you not when I'm so close to victory? Thank you. Yeah! I would have been very annoyed if this was the first fight that I failed in this, in this stream.
Amazing, Melina. In another life, you could have been Umgadi.
I prefer this one, dearest Tanya. We must leave.
The fuck is he doing?
Melina, wait.
Father?
Truly you?
How the fuck is he controlling Ermac?
Melina, this body was created from the living forest's souls. Mine was one of them. Your attack broke the spell that binds us. Now, I am in control.
Father!
You are Umgadi, but not Li Mei.
I replaced her after your death, Your Majesty. She left the Order rather than accept punishment.
Punishment? It was not her fault.
Yeah, I'm playing as Melina.
Discussion for another time, Father. We must go.
She doesn't have all her abilities as far as I know, because she isn't doing the face thingy. She doesn't have her lips out or anything like that. Slowly but surely I'll get better with this game.
Jared?
Yes, Sindel. It's me.
How I've missed you.
Greetings.
She could always just, visit him at the Living Forest.
My friend. We meet again.
It is good to have you back. We once again find ourselves in challenging circumstances.
And once again, we will prevail. As always, Sindel, I am yours to command.
Nice. And then those are the different... They're taking the Jade Emperor's fucking zombie troops or something, so...
How is it they're unaware that the Soul Stealers are shut down?
We are deep within the mountain. From here, they couldn't tell.
Terracotta Warriors, thank you. I knew there was a name for this Chinese thing.
Not be repeating.
We must take the crown. Without it, he can't raise more warriors.
Our odds will improve if we can surround them.
I'll distract them while the rest of you get into position. Leave it to me, Mother. Shang Tsung.
Princess Melina.
I bring news from Outworld. Sindel is deposed. General Shao now rules.
And yet you are still free.
To succeed, the General needed help on the inside. I provided it.
Nice subterfuge.
The throne gives it up willingly.
It is a burden I've never wanted. The realm is better left in General... Emperor Shao's hands.
A most mature perspective. Outworld benefits from your wisdom.
Yes, Shang Tsung, it does. But not in the manner that you expect.
Nice. Oh, she's good.
A bold gambit, princess.
It is an impressive display of guile. Who knew she was so capable?
You count yourselves among my doubters. I will count you among the dead.
All right. Also, he's just randomly turning old? Also, I need it. Yep. Nice.
Your betrayal will be punished.
Also, I forgot that. Okay, so X, Y, and then grab, or X, BB if I'm pushing forward, or then YX, YX grab.
Do not expect leniency.
Okay, so yeah, XY, whereas, and then YX is same sort of thing. YBAA. YBAA. Nice.
Never doubt.
YB. Never mind. I thought I could get him, but I thought I could do like a longer combo, but I can't.
Outworld.
Is he gonna make more? Yeah, he doesn't have the crown.
Thanks to the princess, this fight is ended.
The fight, perhaps. Not the battle.
True. Until your benefactor is caught, the realms remain threatened. Who is she, sorcerer?
The fuck is that?
Liu Kang. Meet Damashi.
Damashi?
Who?
You are the victim of deception, sorcerer.
You're not Damashi. You're me. More correctly, you are me. A poor facsimile, anyway. Made lesser by Liu Kang's meddling.
What's happening here? Who is he?
This Shang Tsung is whom I battled for the Hourglass. I thought him dead.
As I did you, Liu Kang. It turns out our battle released mammoth energies which ripped apart time's fabric. The fight had two conclusions. In one, I was the victor. In the other, it was you. It was eons before I discovered this. Once I did, I knew the path forward.
I
Multiverse.
took this form and infiltrated your timeline. I elevated these wretches, giving them great power. Together, they sowed discord among the realms and assembled for me the Dragon Army. I led them to believe they were aiding my conquest of Earthrealm and Outworld. But my intent is to exterminate all life in this timeline, and then merge it into my own.
You promised us realms. Now you leave us to slaughter?
That's a problem.
You were pawns, not partners.
The original is actually no. So what he's explaining is because this is the events of Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath, where Shang Tsung and like 2 other peeps or something like that went through, because this was back when Mortal Kombat 11 gave you like the option of like, oh, did you want to fight with this person in the chapter, or do you want to fight as this person in the chapter? Near the end, there was this thing where it's like you can either fight as Shang Tsung for the quote unquote evil end. It's like Injustice 2, where you could fight as Superman or as Batman. Superman's ending, you got rid of free will and all this kind of crazy stuff. Batman's ending, you send Superman to the friend zone and all this other kind of nonsense. So Mortal Kombat 11 had a DLC called Aftermath, where the events, Liu Kang trying to do the hourglass thingy-majiggy, Shang Tsung wants to usurp and get the hourglass, and apparently what's happening there is their fight in like the time like where the hourglass was and such like that was so huge, like magic, time and space was, that 2 futures basically happened. One where Liu Kang, the one that we've been following in Mortal Kombat 1, he succeeded. He continues on with his like creation of the timeline thingamajiggy. And then there was another where Shang Tsung won, and he did his own thing with the time like line crystal and all that kind of shit. So what seems to have happened is that there are 2 timelines that have existed at the same time. One with Shang Tsung's victory, and one with Liu Kang's victory.
Sir, you will be sacrificed.
We served you loyally, built you the Dragon Crown.
This is a toy. I do not need it to control the Dragon Army. Only the souls contained within. Goodbye, Liu Kang. Neither you nor your timeline will be missed.
There's Sindel from like...
Here's our interests align. For now.
Know that I trust neither of you. I will finish you both at the first hint of treachery.
Oh no. Not good.
Melina, what's wrong?
Serum.
The Tarkarton is like affecting her.
Stay in control. You attack my family. I will make you suffer.
Further resistance serves no purpose. This timeline will be destroyed.
That's the original Raiden voice.
Fight.
Stop being a dick. X, Y, and then grab. Okay. X, Y, and grab. Oh, come on. That's not... Okay, at least this is only the first round. Oh, her ribs are fucked.
Oblivion awaits. Pray now to whichever...
Alright, so straight side is the thingamadoogie, teleport down, teleport up.
Gods you worship.
Alright, hang on. Let me have... What's the long one? Rug Sweeper is YB, YBY, YBAA. Okay, so... YBAA is what I want to look at.
Much fight left. It won't take long to finish.
YBA... 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 There we go.
This new Shang Tsung should have sent more minions.
Oh, she sounds feral. Her ribs are fine? Yeah, sure.
Come forward.
Fine.
If you dare. I will finish what Raiden could not.
She's crazy. Do we get another fight with Melina?
Your tenacity is to be admired. Until our last breaths are taken, as long as blood flows through our veins, we are not beaten. Noble sentiments, which in the end matter little.
I don't know about her hair magic.
Leave here alive.
I thought that was just an outworld nonsense. But I do not remember her having the power to use, like, sword. I didn't know that was a skill of hers. Nice.
Oh, it's so sad to see.
All right, let's see if we can get this one.
Mother.
If my mother dies, she won't be the only Sindel to perish.
Fight.
All right, hang on. So, XBB. Okay. XBB. Nice. There we go.
When I rip out your heart with
Sindel used a spear as a weapon. I was not aware of that. Nice. That worked. Oh, please don't tell me Sindel dies here.
Not yet. It's my time, dear. At least we had a few hours more.
That was a few hours? Jesus, they were at this fight for a while.
Mother.
Oh, she no longer has her crazy teeth thing.
You are now Empress. Rule well.
I will, Mother. Father and Katana will help me.
Oh, she's... Oh. That's not good.
Of course.
Did you just steal her life?
Father, what did you do?
I collected your mother's soul. It resides within me.
Dude, that's not on.
She is safe.
She's meant to be going to, like, the living forest and shit, so they can visit her later.
Hurry, everyone. We must withdraw.
Oh, that's not good. Oh. The Terracotta Warriors are, like, all coming back alive. Alrighty. Is this the end of Melina's chapter, is the question. We do not know.
To move an army that large among realms, he'll need a portal, yes?
More than one. You will need a nexus of portal gateways.
It must be nearby. We follow them. They will lead us to it.
Agreed. But we cannot strike until Raiden and Kung Lao arrive.
That the Lin Kuei won't aid us is unforgivable. Bihan has corrupted them totally.
When this crisis ends, we will deal with that one.
This is but the
one shit at a
battle
time.
in a longer war.
Why is Shang Tsung with you? Because in the earlier cutscene, turns out that the Chronica that we saw in the trailer, it was actually Shang Tsung from another timeline, from one where, because Liu Kang, the one that we've been following in Mortal Kombat 1, he got into a fight with Shang Tsung in like a time place that shattered time and space and shit like that. So it started making two timelines, one where Liu Kang won and another where Shang Tsung won instead. So the Shang Tsung that won, eons later on, finds out there's another timeline. So he breaks into it, which is the one we're in right now. And he tricks our Shang Tsung and Quan Chi to help him. So then that way he can, like, they didn't realize it at the time that he wanted to destroy their timeline, not let them take over the world and shit like that. So there's a temporary alliance going off right now with
Shang Tsung has prepared his entire timeline for it.
This.
We cannot match its strength.
My counterpart said that your battle with him ripped time's fabric, creating two timelines. But how do we know that it wasn't torn further? If there are two timelines, can't there be more?
It's possible.
Why the thought experiment, sorcerer?
You said we lack strength. We might find it in other timelines.
How would we do that?
We gather allies from across timelines, other titans, to build an overwhelming force.
You've just heard of this.
We have no proof that they...
The Chronica that we saw at the start of Mortal Kombat 1's movie thingy-majiggy, I thought it was Chronica. A lot of us probably thought it was Chronica. Turns out it was just Shang Tsung deception.
The battle in front of us. We can't stake our survival on pure conjecture.
If Liu Kang is right, the battle in front of us is already lost. This may be our only hope.
Geras, your thoughts?
Tell us.
It is possible. But as I am only the Hourglass's steward, such a search is beyond me. It can only be undertaken by the Keeper of Time.
And I no longer wield that power.
You're gonna need it again.
You may be able to regain it.
What? How do you mean?
When you gave up control of the hourglass, I worried that one day...
No. In 11, Kronika was Kronika. But Kronika is dead. She can't, like...
I collected it. To this day, it remains safely stored.
Why did you never tell me this?
Because the process of restoring your power is likely irreversible. Returning to the life you have now, as Earthrealm's protector, a life you cherish, may be impossible.
And you did not want me tempted to make that sacrifice, unless it was absolutely necessary.
Correct.
Yep.
Thank you, Geras. You have saved us with your wisdom. Now, where have you stored my power? We must retrieve it.
It is at the Fire Temple, stored in the Jade Jaguar gifted to you by the great Kung Lao.
Nice. And he's just making a portal.
Yes, Geras.
Liu Kang has proven more resilient than anticipated. He and his comrades have escaped the fortress.
Forget the others. Find Liu Kang. He alone threatens my plans.
That's the Fire Temple.
Better vessel to store my power, Geras. I have always treasured the great Kung Lao's gift. It reminds me of his meticulous nature and his generous heart.
Okay, so there's two Gerases. There's this one who is servant to... So he's steward to the hourglass. So in this timeline, we have our normal Geras, and then Shang Tsung has his Geras.
Into the hourglass. There, we will transfer the temporal power stored within it to you.
It now occurs to me that all along, you have had unfettered access to the power stored within. You could have taken it, become Keeper of Time, but chose not to. Why?
Because I have faith in your vision for this new era. I am content to be its guardian.
Aw, that's nice.
Thank you, Geras.
He had confidence in him. He believed in his, like, vision.
You are sure it will restore my power?
As sure as I can be of one that has been neither tried nor tested. But even if successful, it is not guaranteed that you will find any other timelines or allies. They may not exist.
That might not be true.
I pray this is not a fool's errand. I hate leaving the others behind.
Your champions will bolster their strength against the Dragon Army. It is sure to be the mother of all battles.
May the Elder Gods protect them.
Oh boy. That's a lot more portals now. Alright, we got a new, Shang Tsung. We get a new chapter. I succeeded on the first try with Melina. What do you mean, nah? The fuck you mean, nah? I completed Melina's in, like, one try. Like, are you talking about the fact that there was, like, that one fight where, out of a best out of 3, it was 2-1 in my favor? Not a lot of port. Okay. So yeah, completed that chapter thingy-madoogies. All right, do we want to do another one for Shang Tsung? Oh, hey, that's Sub-Zero, Smoke, Scorpion. So much. All right. The amount of... Do we want to do another chapter check? 3 ninjas and an American. And then Rain. And then Ermac from their timeline. Let's do it? Alrighty then. Oh, it's a drone.
My ex was so wrong. The 30K I spent on this seems like a steal right now.
Nice.
This magic is incredible.
Not magic, your loveliness. Technology.
Either way, it's clear what must happen next. The gateways and the dragon army have to be destroyed. Scorpion, have you a plan?
We must divide our forces. You, Shang Tsung, Quan Chi.
That bitch got a Game Boy.
As you do, Kenshi and Jared will grind down the dragon army. The rest of us will attack our dark doubles. If they're defeated, it will hopefully throw the dragon warriors into disarray.
Hopefully.
An astute strategy.
Truly, I could not have devised a better one.
Enough with the empty flattery. If you want our trust, give us actions, not words.
Nice. Oh, look at it! Look at Shang Tsung with his pouty face. He's just like, I don't know. Damn it! I can't do a pouty face on this character.
Our venom will spread.
Dark Shao.
It will be the end of all things.
Nice.
Armageddon.
Did he say Armageddon? He said Armageddon. It's cute that Melina thinks it. Yeah, they don't have too much thought. I'm sorry, he had magic as well? Johnny is armored. Liu Kang, or this honestly looks a little bit nuts. Well, that's annoying.
That is unfortunate.
The battle continues, Shang Tsung.
Quan Chi, with me. I, for one, am not pleased we were double-crossed.
It is an ire I share.
May I suggest we harness our anger and use it to obliterate my doppelganger's minions?
Fight.
Straight skull, ground skull. It's the same one. And then ding, ding, ding. Okay, so that's a half circle to B. Wait, does he not grab? There we go. Nice. I was kind of worried there. Yeah, that's Kenshi. That's not Johnny Cage, because he has the sword. Oh, that looked painful.
But insufficient. You cannot thwart me.
Okay, I need... Okay, X, Y... Okay, kick. Nope. Nice. I blocked it. Yep, okay, cool. He can do the... Nice.
This pair will trouble us no more.
Cool. Plant grow formula? Yes, because that's what Shang Tsung is at the end of the day. He's just a herbalist. Nice. I was honestly worried I wasn't gonna succeed on that one.
There are more who acquire our attention.
Dark Rain. Alright, the fuck is he doing? Alright, so we're dealing with rain and smoke. Thank you, Raiden.
You're welcome, sorcerers.
Is it me, or is that Raiden becoming insufferable?
You are not wrong, but it is tomorrow's problem. Let us first.
Oh, I was worried I was just gonna start fighting Raiden.
Fight!
Still wish to fight.
Alright, hang on. So XY, XYB, YY, YYA. Okay, so YYA is when I'm pulling back.
You to a watery grave.
XYB, YYA. Nice. So XYB, Y. Oop. YY. Nope. What the? Oh, there's a young form and an old form. Down and left trigger does an age form. And then and then perfect form is B? The fuck is perfect form? Alright, so ding ding X. Ding ding A. Alright. Damn it. Oh, that's not good. Fuck you. Oh, he's not fucking around. Alright, here we go. We're gonna give him some natural herbs and spices.
Problem solved.
Problem solved, indeed. I win, Yaru. Alright, that's another portal destroyed. That's good.
2 of 5.
It's progress. Now on to the next.
Sup, Shao? Wait, was that Shinnok's? Oh, never mind. I thought there was like Shinnok's skull on the back of Shao.
Did you see that?
His life force is feeding the portal's energy.
We kill him. We close them permanently.
Yeah! Oh. Oh, fuck you two.
These meddling minions grow tiresome.
Let us finish them.
Fight.
There we go. I think it's basically made his bones grow super fast. Yeah, like cancer. Shang Tsung just giving peeps cancer because he just doesn't give a shit.
So much for fire and ice.
It makes dead cells. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Oop. That's not good. Look at these two just walking like in sequence. They're just like, yeah, like we're best buds, despite the fact we only met each other like a week ago.
Won't happen again. Fight.
Nice. All right, I keep using the same. I keep using this one. I keep using pulse check. I need to use new things. Let's see. So in my young form, I can do, if I'm pushing into him, BAB or Silent Killer YB.
Size isn't all that matters.
Hi, Ripper! Oh. Okay, ignore that ass kicking. Alright, let me get out of that. I thought I blocked that earlier. Oh, here we go, here we go. Check this shit out. Yeah. Look at it. Bam. I gave him cancer.
His soul is ours.
Nice. Nice, 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 nice. Just fucking Persians shanking him. He's just like bam, 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 bam. cool. It did stop all the portals. I was worried that...
You've done it. The army's trapped.
Nice.
All of the other realms in this timeline are safe.
Never forget, Raiden, that we risked our lives to perform this service.
One that wouldn't have been needed if you hadn't conspired with the other Shang Tsung.
If you didn't get tricked by your doppelganger.
Last man.
Come, we must help the others.
I would have been a lot more like, look, we're only doing this because you got tricked by your doppelganger. Time of Death by Luke. Yay! I was able to go through all of Shang Tsung's on one try. Excellent. Yay. Just started shanking like crazy. Yeah, just going like bam, 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 bam. It was nuts. Do we want to see if I can do this one in one try as well? Or do you think we should take a break from utilizing the predictions because it's a little bit stale? Because right now I've done it like 4 times and it's been a win for me 4 times. We should take a break. All right, cool. Fair enough. Fair enough-sies. It will probably be a lot more fun when we're going against like players or something like that, I suppose.
Are you ready to begin the search?
Ready enough. May there be other timelines and titans to find.
Oh, hello.
Garrus? Liu Kang?
Easy, Katana. You are among friends.
What's happened? Where am I?
A long way from home. In a different timeline, to be precise.
What? Are you also
a keeper of time? Yes.
both of us? How is that possible?
The battle for Chronica's hourglass ripped apart time's fabric. Where there once was one timeline, there are now many. Each new timeline represents a different possible outcome of that battle. In mine, I became Time's Keeper. In yours, it was you. In others, it could be Jade, Sindel, even Kano. The possibilities are endless.
Nice.
If many timelines sprung from one, and we were both part of it, then you are my Liu Kang.
Aww.
The same one who battled you in Shang Tsung's courtyard. Who fought at your side at the Colosseum.
Aw, he got his girl back.
Who beamed with pride when you became Outworld's Khan.
Yeah, it's Katana from another timeline. Like, that's what we've established.
Why does fate seem always to conspire against us? To deny us life's simple pleasures.
I don't know.
I want a timeline where Johnny is the timekeeper.
Perhaps in one of the many timelines. They are ours.
Yeah, let me just summon my girlfriend to help me with my timeline.
But I know you well enough to know better. What duty beckons us?
I will tell you. But first, we must gather more of our old friends.
Yeah!
Wielding the power of the hourglass?
Yes, Kung Lao. He is a threat to all timelines.
He is not yet aware of any beyond his and Liu Kang's.
That's the old Raiden.
For now, it is only a matter of time.
I had hoped my victory over Chronica would end the endless cycle of combat. Sadly, it begins anew.
I believe so. Like, I think that's how they're playing this.
The millions in my White Lotus Society will aid us, if needed.
Thank you, my friends. He is here.
Oh. That is a lot of different peeps. The threat to the timeline is here.
Liu Kang, you have found allies. Titan allies, in fact.
Did he do the same
How could
thing?
I have been so blind? Of course, our timelines aren't the only two.
Okay.
Retreat to yours, Shang Tsung. Your attempt to merge timelines has failed.
Yes. Your comrades...
Yeah, that's Reptile over on the left there.
Thus, I have resigned myself to simply destroying your timeline. Knowing that others exist to conquer makes that choice much more palatable. Once I destroy your hourglass, your timeline will cease to exist. I will take great pleasure in finishing you one last time.
Oh, that's a... Oh, Jesus Christ, there's so many. Ah, look at the two of them.
You fight how I remember. I know what you'll do before you do it.
Likewise. Let's hope our advantage proves decisive.
Fight!
Cosmic Flame is pushed back. Quarter Turn is for the low. Dragon Tail is the A. Dancing Shrinking is the B. X, Y, X. Y, Y, X. That wasn't enough.
Why not slither back to your timeline?
Oh, that's a lot of combos. Bam, bang.
How I've missed fighting by Katana's side.
Good for you. Uh-oh, that's our time. That's not good.
Let's rip the flesh from their bones. Are Tanya's of all timelines this evil? Mine is no better.
You should meet mine. She's a vast improvement.
I'd like that. Should we survive this battle?
Fight.
Alright, I need other thingamajiggies to recall. BY... Okay, BYD. She hit her with her butt.
Mildly made to you.
That was neat! Nice.
Are you the best Shang Tsung can do?
We still need to solve that.
It has begun.
But we gotta fix that.
We must stop them. If the hourglass is emptied, this timeline will be destroyed.
Get off, Geras.
Heal quickly, my friend. This battle ends with your timeline obliterated. Your final moments will be torture and pain.
I do not fear your bravado. I have bested twins far more evil than you.
Fight!
It's time to break my mirror image.
How did I do that? Uh-oh, that's not good. Alright, well at least I can do a fatal blow. Oh. Hopefully I survive this. Yes! Give it. Crunchy indeed. Keeper of Time Liu Kang has the same moves and not Keeper of Time Liu Kang?
Go
I don't
back
know.
to your timeline, brothers.
He's just Liu Kang.
We have
He does his thing.
The hourglass is failing.
Then let us end this now.
Be good girls and kill them, won't you?
As you command, Shang Tsung.
Katana and I will fight them. You save the hourglass.
Yes, Liu Kang.
Fool. You cannot save it.
I don't know which of them is worse. Both are cracked reflections of me.
They are abominations. Neither will survive this fight.
Oh yeah, because in the original Thingamadigi, Melina was, she hit her with her butt. Yeah, Melina in the original in the original universe was like a was a clone, hence why she had like the Tarkata looking thingamadoogies. So YYX, pushback is for YA, AY is for chosen one. All right, let's try AY. AY? Nice. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be very spammy with Liu Kang if I ever commit it to him.
You will be too.
Alright. Time to fix the timeline. Why not just attack Shang Tsung when he's there? Okay, yay, timeline is fixed.
This isn't over, Liu Kang.
Reptile just runs away as Reptile. Nice.
Thank you, everyone, for your aid. This battle was won together.
Shang Tsung is gone, but he's not defeated. He will be back to renew his campaign.
Not only against this timeline, but against all timelines.
He's probably gonna
Our
make
choice is
alliances.
clear. We must take the fight to him. Destroy any power he has to make war against us.
Yep.
Agreed. Shang Tsung is likely already gathering allies as I gathered you. We must best his efforts. Assemble an overwhelming army from across all timelines.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that 100% perfectly. Where the fuck are we? Are we in Egypt? Oh man, look at us all dripped out. Oh, don't we look incredible? Oh, not you. Hey, Armageddon. There, look! Oh, it's Cage! Wait, there's a woman Cage? Select your final... Oh, we're gonna go with good old Johnny Cage. I love how he's just like, oh. We're at the Keyblade. Sure. I do not believe you, but sure. Alrighty. I'm guessing this is Shang Tsung's, like, Dark Armageddon peeps.
There is nowhere to run, Shang Tsung. Nowhere to hide. We have banded together to rid all timelines of your evil. The threat you pose to them ends today.
Such certainty, Liu Kang, that this battle will end in your favor.
It will.
It can end no other way. Because across all timelines, the arc of history bends toward justice.
Does it? In this timeline, it bends toward me. Behold, Liu Kang, the hell I unleash upon you.
Wait, is that Johnny or is that Kenshi? It's hard to see in the background. When they get closer, we'll have a better chance. Kenshi, Raiden, Smoke, Havoc. Oh, hey, we didn't see those two, like, previously. I'm sorry, there's no badass way to go down a set of stairs carefully. Like, just seeing them just being, like, screaming, and they're just like, ah! And then they're just, like, taking it one step at a time. Oh, there's Johnny. Up the stairs maybe is a little bit better, but it's not that much better. Yeah, work that cardio.
Today's battle will be your last.
Fight.
Wait, Firefly? What the fuck?
Here we go. Vote it off.
All right, that's the first one out of the way. More running. Look at him go. Oh, wait, there's a female?
It's a bad call to battle a megastar.
Fight.
Nice. We're just going through a hall of like all different kinds of he just punches him once and moves on. Ooh, a female reptile.
Fight.
Badly hidden fetish of the crate. We're just so many. What's the rule? What's the rule for gender swapping? Is that rule 64? Because like rule 34 is like the sexy thing. Yeah.
I'll write you out of the narrative.
Fight.
Screen demon. Nice. Oh. Oh, am I having to face that? Oh, thank Christ, I don't have to. Oop, mine. Oh. Nice. Oh, Johnny got pulled in.
The Elder Gods eviscerate you.
Fight.
No, 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 no. This is not good. Oh, yes. That was close. Yeah, there's a lot of like crossover characters going off here. And
allow me.
God damn, there's so many of them. Oh my, Jesus Christ!
Now that's a wrap.
You're welcome. Now hurry. There's no time to waste.
Prepare to be dismembered.
Fight.
So that is if Katana was all... Yes, Katana is Shao Kahn. Blue... Kung Lao... No, not Kung Lao. What's his name?
No happy ending for you, my friend.
Fight.
I've honestly forgotten... I've forgotten some of my combos with Johnny Cage, I'm gonna be real with you.
Assist me, Quan Chi.
The fuck is that? God damn you. Uh-oh. The three Molinas. Nice. Oh, final Molina.
Test your might.
Nice. I was ready for that one. I was like, oh, here it comes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because, Kenshi got his eyes, like, stabbed and shit. No, don't be breaking on me. No!
Hurry, Johnny. You are almost there.
I wanted more cutscene. I wanted more cutscene. God damn it. God damn you.
You ready? It's time to get caged.
Fight.
Could you, like, not? Darn it. Alright, note to self, I need to, like, actually, like, pause in a fight and learn what the fucking, commands are.
Fight.
Alright, so, Ballbuster is the away circle to do, like, the splits thingy-madiggy. XXY is the knuckle thingy. XXB. XYA. XYA! Imagine if you had a hammer, freeze you, smash the ice. It would have been effective. Yeah, that's our timeline on Liu Kang.
A little further, Johnny. Follow me.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, hopefully this is hopefully the final battle.
Your defenses have failed, Shang Tsung. This is over.
I do not think so.
Realize, sorcerer, that you've brought this on yourself. Avarice and
Gambling for the finale? You know what? I think so. We're gonna gamble on the finale because, you know, we're real, like, The fights have been getting harder, especially since the earlier fights have been at 700 health. This one will most likely be at 100 health. Let's see how we go, chat. And right at the get-go, people just do not have trust in me. How dare you? How dare you? How dare?
Go have again proved your undoing. We have no choice but to eradicate you.
It is you who will be eradicated. You and your followers.
Thank you, Ripper, for believing in me.
Once you are dead, all timelines will be mine.
Oh, not my nippies. This better be the final battle. Uh-oh. Time to be the hero. Believe, chat. Believe.
Your position is precarious. To survive, you must submit.
No can do.
The question you must ask is, if Liu Kang couldn't finish us, how possibly could you?
Alright, so throwing shade is the Y, backing is for the B. Oh. Yeah! Yes!
And they called me the Chosen One.
Also the name of my biggest box office smash. Let's do this.
You have done more than enough. Please permit me to end this.
Alright. Oh, he's using time. He's using time magic here. Nice. Oh, that's so cool.
May that be the last we see of you.
Hell yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
Timeline. Without Shang Tsung to hold it together, it's falling apart. You must return to your timeline before this one collapses.
Time to run.
Thank you for your aid, Johnny. May we one day meet again.
Wait, he's not coming with us?
I'm telling you, the locations we found here are money. I mean, look at this. Don't the rainbow colors on these mountains just scream Outworld?
I cannot believe you'll be telling our story about how we defeated Shang Tsung.
Well, the studio thinks it's fiction, not fact. But I don't care, as long as it's covering the budget.
Nice.
I assume you'll be the star.
Nope, I'm behind the camera, writing and directing. Time to let someone younger and prettier take the lead. You know, I've written in parts for all of you, if you want them.
Us? On screen?
I mean, they're cameos. But like they say, there are no small parts.
Thank you, Johnny. but we must decline.
Aww.
But Raiden?
The new initiates arrive tomorrow. We must return to the Wuxi to begin their instruction.
Of course. You are right. What about you, Takahashi? I need a blind swordsman. And no actor can do what you do.
I would love to. But my work to revive the Tyra is starting to pay off. I can't let up now.
Fair enough.
Well, I know better than to ask you. Your plate is always full.
Indeed, Johnny Cage. Which is why I must now depart.
Damn it.
Off to Outworld? To advise the Empress?
Between her father and her sister, Melina is receiving plenty of good advice. And with the sorcerers and the general imprisoned, there are few threats to her rule.
Is something wrong, then?
I am simply shoring up our defenses. As you know, Bi-Han and his Lin Kuei have abandoned their roles as Earthrealm's guardians. His brother, Kuai Liang, has agreed to build a new clan, the Shirai Ryu, to take its place. I must go aid his efforts.
And what's more is there's like multiple
Not yet,
timelines we gotta worry
But I
about.
will call upon all of you when the time comes. Madame Bo, once again you have served an excellent meal.
That's kind of you to say.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I'm not paying for it.
And thank you, all of you. You have served well as Earthrealm's champions.
No, Liu Kang. Thank you.
Nice.
Joining up with you really has changed the arcs of our lives.
Good callback.
I am glad.
Good callback. I like that.
All right, gentlemen. If you're finished, there's only one thing left to do. Which one of you gets the bad news?
Not me. I'm still 3 mil in the hole on Sento. How, thick's your wallet, Takahashi?
Thick enough. But seems to me our hosts are on the hook. They did invite us.
You think we have money? The Shaolin live modestly.
They're teasing. Don't worry, farm boy. I've got this covered. Besides, my business manager tells me I can write this whole thing off.
It's
The
just
realms are in safe hands.
awesome. I was worried for a second there was just gonna be another fight randomly, but thank Christ there isn't. Did I win that fight? Yes, I did. Hell the fucking yes. Who voted on what? Yeah, Rippa, you believed in me and you got paid off for it. Excellent, nice work. Good work, Ed Boon. Steve, what's Mahoozies?
Do all of my own stunts. Mess around and hit me, you probably get blown up. I've been hot enough here to throw up the whole sun. Cut a man in half, write my name in his own blood. Everybody dies, you probably gon' never learn from it. Pop them in the sky till they never gon' get a turn from it. Burn stomachs cutting like my blade is immortal. Bitch, open a portal, I slice you till your parts out of order. Your head and your torso, I'll murder your gore. You got
Oh, we get a post-credit scene. Nice. It's just all the dead bodies from all the different timelines. Amazing. Who? Jax. You're alive? Amazingly enough, Jax lives. Or does he? That is a lot of different outfits. That's kind of cool, seeing like all the like crossovers and such.
Clinging to life. Even now he struggles.
Everyone who fought today did so fiercely.
Had I not been here for it, I would have thought it impossible. Warriors from across timelines, clashing in combat. The blood, the death, the chaos.
Yes, Lord Havoc.
It's unfortunate it all ended so fast.
He's looking to do that, isn't he?
The next time, it won't.
Ooh. Let's see, what's the next video? Or does it say congratulations now? Yay! Seasonal content. You defended the new era from Shang Tsung, but your adventure has just begun. Invasions will take you on a single-player journey across the realms. Combat Lead will test your might against other players online. Both modes refresh each season with new challenges and rewards. Nice! She's named... Why is she named Firefly? You're welcome to tell me. Okay, so we don't have Shang Tsung available to us. And we don't have What's-a-Mahoozy available to us. Hang on. Do I have to go into, like, notifications to unlock something? No, I do not. What the hell? Interesting. They give us Scorpion in this thingamadoogies. But yeah, I thought I would have gotten like the other fighters. Why don't I have Havoc? Because I swear his thingamadoogie cropped up. No new gear. God damn you, Kiaru. Alright. Invasions. Let's have a look.
Though the barriers among timelines have been rebuilt after the recent invasion, they remain porous. That is why I chose to secretly surveil all of them, to keep watch for potential aggressors. And my choice has proven wise. There is no shortage of malefactors who wish this timeline harm. But with the advanced knowledge I have gained of their plans, I can coordinate this timeline's defenses.
Nice.
These threats vary in nature and severity, but all risk doing critical damage. With skill, luck, and perseverance, these threats will be defeated. The future of this timeline is now in your hands. May the Elder Gods bless your efforts.
Begin your journey, choose a fighter. Alright, we're picking Johnny.
Johnny Cage.
And then... let's go.
Kano.
Welcome to Casa del Cage. I've got one rule. Don't break anything. It's all expensive.
Oh,
and
Mortal
FYI,
Kombat symbol there.
The house just might be possessed.
What?
Straight up, we're talking serious poltergeist.
Rampage!
Like the weird portal to other realms in my bedroom. Can I tell you how much of a nightmare it's been trying to sell this place?
What?
BT Dubs, there's a key under the rock.
Nice. What is triangle? Oh, triangle does that. Oh, so we can assign stats? If we have talismans, if we have relics, key items, and components. Alright, let's have a key thief. Alrighty. A Tarkatan warrior has stolen the key to Cage's mansion. Defeat the Tarkatan warrior and recover the key.
Fight.
No, I don't want the easy thingy-madoogies. I want, like, the proper one. Alright. Ding. Alright, so right, left, down, Y. Right, left, down, Y.
Talk about talent. Meet Hollywood's newest star.
Yeah! Get fucked. He's just...
Johnny Cage wins.
Ah. That was cool. Hey, we got a front door key item. Nice. That was quick. What were all the items you were getting from beating people in story mode? Those were, those look to be, what's-a-mahoozy thingamadigs. The,
Sweet!
like, customization.
But you're also gonna need the pin for the security system. It's, ABACABB, right? Keep it secret, keep it safe.
ABACABB. Okay.
This place is supersized, and I'd hate for you
The
to
blue
get
paths are unlocked. The red are locked. Green
means go.
Green leads to new encounters. The arrow guides you to the exit. Okay.
Of course, Casa del Cage sports the ultimate home theater.
Nice, nice.
Stick around and feast your eyes on the greatest movies ever made. Cage Match, Ninja Mime, and my all-time favorite, Time Quake.
Nice. Okay, who's messaging me at 9 p.m. from work?
Fight. Finish him.
Oh, I thought that would work.
Bring it.
Johnny Cage wins.
Nice. Woo. 250 seasonal coin. Yes, please. So there might be a good Shang soon. There might be. Oh, look at that. They're watching a trailer.
Pretty much everywhere. Gotta know what I look like at all angles. At
Right
all
trigger
times.
and the thingamajiggies.
And I'm here to tell you.
Nice. Let's give this one a try, see how we go. Also, hang on, I need to double check if...
Fight!
Okay, so towards them, away from them, and down.
Finish him!
Towards them, away from them, down.
Talk about talent. Meet Hollywood's newest star.
Do I still have my tongue sticking out with this one, I wonder? Oh my gosh, Reptile, you... Oh, no, I do like a... I do a grimace.
Johnny Cage wins.
Nice. Hey, I ranked up with Johnny Cage. Mr. A-list. Nice. Alrighty. And that unlocks multiple things. Can't go that way. Can't go that way. I can only go this way. Oh, there's an achievement. Spill 5,000 pints of blood, and I just got it. Nice.
Fight.
What the? Get off me. Towards a way down.
Talk about talent. Meet Hollywood's newest star.
I need to see how I can do like a cameo fatality. Yeah.
Fatality. Johnny Cage wins.
Love it. Nice, 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 nice. And I get myself a new Kano and some coins. Nice. God, this is fun.
You thought things were crazy before? Well, buckle up, Buttercup. Because through those doors is what I like to call Demon Alley. Only go in there if you like fighting vicious Netherrealm beasties. Ugh, if I could only figure out how they're getting in here.
Alright, and then there's...
Meet the Collector. My personal shopper and lifetime pickleball teammate. He's a cool dude. Just don't get on his bad side.
Nice. Oh my god, there's a Netherrealm University. Crazy. Alright, what's in the shop? Grants fire resistance, resurrects to 50%. Okay. Cool stuff. Wait, what? I missed what that said. It was like after discovering the shop, yada yada yada. Alright, let's see how we go with this one. Hiss. Many encounters along will have modifiers. They can affect one fighter or both. You can counter the effects by using consumables. Alright, let's have a look. Oh, the Flying Demon. Okay, well. Easy Fatality. Cameo moves. Cameo Fatality. Alright.
Superstar. Finish him.
Darn it. I didn't get that right.
Johnny Cage wins.
I was hoping to do a cameo thingamadoog, but I guess that did... Like, it said to do it at mid-range, but apparently that didn't happen. And I've unlocked Scorpion as a cameo. Nice. I am probably going to play a lot more of this. What's over here? A locked gate requiring a dojo's key card. Okay. So we took care of him. Now it's your turn with the Junior Monk and a Flying Demon that's just coming around. Alright, so we can see the modifiers on the right side when we do the thing.
Fight!
Christ.
Finish him.
Okay, what's mid?
Bring it.
What's mid-range?
Johnny Cage.
Like, am I supposed to... Yay. Currency and performing a 3-hit combo. Nice. I'm probably like, if it wasn't for the fact that I was going to be doing a Fortnite tournament on Sunday morning, I would probably be playing so much of this outside of streaming as well. Like, just going through all this extra nonsense. It's so fun.
Fight! Finish him.
I'm just gonna do a normal,
Talk
like...
about talent. Meet Hollywood's newest star.
Bam. Get wrecked. Yeah, I got that face before.
Johnny Cage wins.
Nice. What time is it? Oh, it's like past 9 o'clock. All right. Hang on. We've almost leveled up. We're almost at... Hey, super armor tutorial. Okay. The fuck is a super armor? Many opponents have super armor during their attacks. This means their attacks cannot be interrupted, but they can be blocked. Can be interrupted during a short window when they are vulnerable. That will be highlighted blue. Is different for each of your opponent's super. Study as you block and gain your opportunity. Nice. Makes sense. Don't know why I was given that tutorial, but okay. Oh, I guess it's because, so then that way, like, there's probably going to be a fight where someone does have super armor in here. Let's see. Demon Lady. All right, let's have a play. Let's have a seize.
Fight.
Yep. Nice.
Finish her.
All right, so from a medium distance, so away. Oh, it's right bumper. I was using right trigger. That wasn't right.
Bring it.
Johnny Cage wins.
Yay. Oh, I get a talisman and some seasonal currency. Nice. Alrighty. I think that's where we're gonna... Yep.
That crazy demon lady dropped a talisman. It's pretty powerful if you know how to use it. Ooh, you can also upgrade a talisman at a forge, you know.
Alright. So, if I go triangle, I can then go to the talisman here, and it gives me 3 charges. Armor against up to 100 damage, and a 5% activation speed. Nice. And I got no relics. I can change my cameo. I very much want to use... Ooh, they have elements. Interesting. Okay.
Scorpion.
Alright, so... Because I'm at peace... So the Thingamadoogie does more damage to the Thingamadoog and less damage to the Knight. It does... Or it gets less damage from Knight. I do less damage to blood, and I get more damage from the stars. So if I'm using Scorpion, I deal... No, that's not gonna... Alright. Well, at least I know how it works. And then I've got the key card here, and then there's components, but there's 36 days left of this season, whatever it's called. Main menu. Alright. I am going to say... That is that for the rest of stream tonight. We did it. We went through the story of Mortal Kombat 1. I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved it. I hope all of you guys like thought it was pretty cool to watch. You know, it is what it is. So yeah. Let's have a look at who is online. So, ding. All right, twitch.tv. Let's have a look. Oh, Mixie is... So, oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Sunday morning, I'm in a Fortnite tournament. Sunday, I'm in a Fortnite tournament where we're going to be doing, like, Fortnite thingamadiggy. So it's me... So it's going to be, like, 5 rounds, and where it's going to be in teams of 3. And in 2 of the rounds, I'm actually going to be with Miss Mixie in rounds 3 and 4. So that's going to be fun. And it looks like she's doing a subathon thingamadoog. So maybe we'll get to learn a little something if we observe Miss Mixie and see what her strategy is and such like that in this Fortnite. Looks like she's playing it solo for now, but that's okay. We can still learn a thing or two. Raid channel. Ding. And yeah, so we'll start our raid, and we'll just do Fortnite time, but we're gonna not use the normal Fortnite spelling. We're gonna use the normal Fortnite spelling. And yeah, that's it for tonight. I will be back online Friday night. Friday night is D&D night, so Code the Yoshi's going to be joining me. Saturday night is MMO night, as per usual. And Sunday morning, once again, Fortnite Thingamadiggy. You'll find it all in the Twitch schedule on my channel. And I think I've also posted it on my Twitter /Blue Sky as well. I'm in a lot of different things. And otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to tonight's stream. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you all had a wonderful time. I'm Steelfire. Thank you for the follow and thank you for the 100 points. And I will leave you all getting ready for fighting, for raiding into Miss Mixie, and see you all next time. Bye for now.